Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Adam and welcome to the labs. I have been recovering from a very long case of COVID, but you're not here for that. You're here to learn how to crack your legally obtained handshake file. The handshake files that I'm using in this video are from my own network. These are my own captures, my own packets, so I have full permission to perform this. The password must be located within the password list you're using. Now, we'll be using Hashcat, and then we're going to be performing a straight dictionary attack that will be reading against a password file. If my password does not show up within that password file, I will not be able to crack these handshakes. And I will show you what I mean a little later on. So, what I want you to do, if you haven't already, is plug your Pwnagotchi into your computer and make sure you can ping it. So mine is going to be at 10.0.0.2 and I have a reply, so I know it's actively on. Now I'm going to be performing this on a MacBook Pro M1 to start with, and then I will switch over to a standard Windows computer later on in the video. So I'm going to assume you have handshakes on your device, you're ready to crack them. So we're going to do a little bit of pre-staging our setup here. And what we need to do first is, if you haven't already ran Hashcat on your computer, we need, at least for the Mac operating systems, we need to go grab Homebrew. All the links will be in the description box below. So Homebrew is extremely easy to install. We're just going to click here, bring our terminal back up, Command V, enter your password, click enter again, and I am going to let this run. I will speed up the video at this point and come back once it's done. All right, now that our installation is successful, there's two steps we need to do, or two commands, and they are right here. Well, one command, sorry. And to add this to our path, I believe we need to do this one right here. So Command C, Command V, enter, and then we just open a new terminal. All right, with Brew installed, we should now be able to go to Brew, install Hashcat. Okay, let's go ahead and clear the screen. Make sure you can still ping your device. We'll hit Control C to stop this. All right, now we need to bring the handshakes over from the device. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to CD over to Downloads. I will type SCP space -R. The user, so in my case it's going to be Pi. This is the user that's listed on your Pwnagotchi device. I'm using the defaults. So Pi at 10.0.0.2 colon. And then my handshakes lie within root handshakes. Do a /, and then I believe an asterisk here, and then users, your Mac's name, mine happens to be CyberCat Labs, and then downloads, the folder I want it in. Now when you hit enter, well, let's get rid of this. When you hit enter, it's going to ask you for your Pi or your Pwnagotchi's password. Again, I'm using the default, so mine is Raspberry. And as you can see, it downloaded the 2 PCAP files I need off my device. If we ls downloads, we can see the handshakes folder. And if we ls again, we can see the 2 PCAP files. Now, I have 2 PCAP files because one's useless and one is useful, and I wanted to show you this. Because as I mentioned earlier, not all PCAP files are going to be useful. What we need to do now is convert these PCAP files into an HC22000 file. And it used to be convoluted how to do this, but now it's not as bad because Hashcat has a site specifically for this. Again, links in the description box below. So I'm going to choose a broken file to start with. So we go to upload this captured handshake. We click convert. And we see handshake extraction has failed. This is what a failed conversion would look like. This capture file is absolutely useless. So let's go back. We'll go choose file. Now I'm going to grab this file. We'll upload, convert. This is what we're looking for. Handshake extraction successful. Now what I want to do is go up here, click download, and allow. So if we go back over here, I'm going to go back out of the handshakes directory into my downloads. Let's clear the screen. We can see this HC22000 file. So I am going to rename that to my capture.hc22000. All right, let's add some space here. So with Hashcat now installed, our handshake downloaded and converted, and an available password list. And if you don't have one, you can find password lists all over online. I am not going to link to any password list. You have to do a little legwork on your own. So what we're going to do next is hashcat-m22000. Then we're going to do -A0. This means it's going to be a straight dictionary attack for the specific HC22000 file. We're going to do my capture, and then I'm going to use my password list. Now if we hit enter, we can see Hashcat has started. And I'll make this a little larger. Now Hashcat needs to read the password list first. So right now it's queuing everything up. All right, it read that list. It only took a few seconds. We can see it did not recover anything. It tested all of these passwords. So as I mentioned before, your password must be within the password list for this to work. Now, the specific password for this capture file is shiny purple tomatoes 24 exclamation point. So if I do this. We're going to modify the password file. I'm going to do shiny. I'm just going to randomly throw these in here. Purple. Tomatoes. $24, and I'll just throw an exclamation down there. Let's run this again. So my password is in there, it's broken up, but nothing's found. This is the line we want to look for. It's recovered 0 out of 1. Nothing's recovered from that. Now let's make this work. Okay, there we go. Now we can see we've recovered 1 out of 1. And if we look up this line here, we can see CC Sec Labs, shiny purple tomatoes 24 exclamation is recovered. Now Hashcat also remembers, it stores this information in what's called a pot file. So if we go to run this again, it's going to crack it instantly, all hashes found in pot file. That means it's stored that information into a pot file. But we have CC Sec Labs, which was the SSID signal of my Wi-Fi or my access point. And then the random password I used. So that's basically how you can crack these handshakes on a MacBook. Now I'll switch this video over to Windows.